Hey everyone, Jared here with ToneandTitan.com, and this is a 20-minute upper body workout that you can do at home with zero equipment required. We'll perform 6 exercises in 40-second intervals. We'll do 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest on each one of these. Let's go ahead and get started with some plyometric push-ups. For a plyometric push-up, what you'll do is stand with your feet away from the wall. You'll do the push-up on the wall, just like I'm doing here in the video. But instead of just going until your elbows are straight, you're actually going to push yourself up and off the wall. That's where the plyometric part of this comes in. Now, at the 20-second mark, I kind of kick things into a little bit higher intensity. If the lower intensity is too easy for you, you can make it more difficult by just increasing the speed. You can also step further away from the wall. You could also perform these plyometric push-ups on a table or a bed or a couch or something like that. There's 40 seconds there. We're going to do 40 seconds of work, and then we're going to do 20 seconds of an active rest period. And so we're not doing quite, we're not going to stand around for the 20 seconds of rest. We're actually going to make that active. The goal here is to keep your heart rate up. And so what we're doing here, I did a little bit of a boxer shuffle there for about 20 seconds. Okay, the second exercise we're going to do is called a walk down. What you do is you start in the upright position, bend at your knees, bend at your hips until your hands come in contact with the floor, and then use your hands to walk out into that tall plank position, and then walk back towards your knees. This is one of my favorite exercises for your upper body. Works the shoulders, works the arms, works the chest. Just a great exercise. Again, at that 20-second mark, we'll show you a little bit higher intensity. This is what you would do if you need a little bit more of a challenge, kind of the intermediate advanced version here. It would be to do them a little bit faster, and then also to do a push-up at the end. Try to push yourself on it. If you find that just the simple walk down is too easy, try that push-up at the end. Try to increase your intensity. Just try to push things a little bit harder, and I promise your results will be even that much better. All right, 20 seconds of our active rest or our active recovery period, and then we're going to get into some reverse fly pulses. To do this one, what we'll do is you'll hinge forward at your hips and then pull your arms back behind you. What I want to do is focus on squeezing the muscles between your shoulder blades, really activate those rhomboids with this one. And then the pulse part comes in. Instead of returning your arms straight back down to that starting position, you'll see that I go down about halfway and then perform about 3 of these pulses. And so you're going to pull them all the way back up and behind you, and then 1, 2, 3 pulses, and then return back to that starting position. The higher intensity would be to increase speed or to go more pulses in 1 rep. So for the higher intensity there, I showed you 5 pulses per rep. Okay, and then we'll get back into our active rest period. Again, the goal here is that we're trying to keep the heart rate elevated. We're trying not to take any time off with this. It's a quick workout. It's only 20 minutes long. Let's maximize every second that we've got. Okay, so our next exercise is going to be the modified plank with a triceps extension. So what you'll do is you'll get down into this modified plank position. You'll see I'm on my knees and on my hand. Pull your other arm back behind you so that your elbow is back behind you. And then what you're going to do is squeeze through that triceps. That's the muscle on the back of your arm in order to straighten your elbow out. Now, if you need a little bit higher intensity, you're going to take that modified plank out into a full plank. And so now you'll see that I'm on my toes and on my hand, still the same motion in the opposite arm. Elbow comes back behind you, and then you're going to extend through that triceps to straighten the arm all the way out. Your focus should be on your triceps, on that muscle in the back of your arm, really trying to squeeze it at the top. Get that arm all the way to straight until you feel that maximum contraction in that triceps muscle in the back of your arm. Okay, very nice. There's 40 seconds on that one. Let's get into our next exercise. Is going to be marching arm circles. And so your arms are out to your side. Arms are performing small circles while we're marching with the legs. You could just do regular arm circles with this, but the goal here is, again, to stay as active as possible. And so we're going to add some marches into these arm circles as well. Here at the 20-second mark, I'll show you a little bit higher intensity. If you need that, we're going to switch the marches into more of like a high knees. And so you're just running in place while you're performing those arm circles. Really try to kick that intensity up. Really try to go for that full 40 seconds, whatever it is that you might be doing. This is a great exercise. You're going to feel this out in the deltoid muscles, in your arms, in your shoulders, as well as in your legs if you try to kick up that intensity as much as you can. Okay, 40 seconds there. Let's get into our 20-second active rest. Again, I'm going with a boxer shuffle here. You could also march in place, jog in place. There's lots of activities you can do. The idea is to stay moving for the 20-second rest period. Okay, our final exercise is going to be the curl, press, and squat. What you'll do is you'll start with a curl. So the curl at your arms, bring your hands up towards your shoulders, and then you're going to reach your arms up and over your head. That's the press. Keep your arms overhead while you do that squat motion. So a good upper body as well as lower body exercise with this. Higher intensity, what I want you to do is kick up the speed a little bit on it. So you'll see that we're going to curl, press, squat just as fast as you can go. Another good option on this one, if you have some small hand weights, that would be another great way to kick up the intensity on this curl, press, and squat. And there's your 40 seconds. We'll follow that up with a 20-second active rest period, and then you've completed your first set of these exercises. Heart should be beaten, maybe a little sweat going on. Again, this is a 20-minute at-home upper body workout that doesn't require any equipment. Okay, there it is. Take your first rest, grab a drink, take a quick break, and we'll be back here in 60 seconds. All right, here we go for round 2 for our upper body workout. You can do at home with zero equipment required. We're going to get started with some of those plyometric wall push-ups again. Hit that timer. There we go. 40 seconds of the plyometric wall push-ups. So again, the further away that you stand from the wall, the more intense this is going to be. I don't want it to be just a regular push-up, so it's not just extending at your elbows. It's actually pushing your body away from the wall to kick on the faster twitch muscle fibers, a little bit more of a plyometric activity. Again, if you need a little bit higher intensity, we're going to go a little bit faster. You could also find another surface. So for example, a table, bed, couch, something like that is going to be a little bit higher intensity with this one. If you can, you might even drop into like a full modified, or if that's still too easy, you can even drop down into a full push-up, just as long as the hands are leaving the floor each time. Okay, 40 seconds there. Let's jump into our 20-second active recovery period. Again, marching in place, walking around the room, maybe you go up and down a flight of stairs. All are acceptable as an active recovery period, active rest period. Okay, getting into the walk downs. So again, you drop down, you bend at the knees, bend at the hips until your hands come in contact with the floor. Walk those hands all the way out into the tall plank position, and then walk them all the way back down to your feet, and then return to that upright position. Again, the goal here, we're working the shoulders, we're working the arms, we're working the chest. You're also getting some core as you get out into that tall plank position. If you need a little bit higher intensity, kick the speed up. If you want something even a little bit more than that, go ahead and hit it with a push-up at the end. It's a great way to kick on the triceps and the chest. That push-up, that's probably one of my favorite at-home exercises, especially for the upper body. Really a good one. All right, we'll hop back up and we'll get into our active rest period again. Again, it's not a very long workout, and so we're trying to maximize every second that we have, really trying to make it as effective as possible. That's why we're going to do more of an active recovery period during that low interval. Okay, up next we've got the reverse fly pulses. Again, pull your arms back behind you as far as you can, and then perform 2 to 3 pulses. So go down halfway and then pull back behind you again. Should feel this. The muscles on the back of your arms, those triceps, the posterior deltoid, that's kind of the back of the shoulder. You'll feel it through there. But then I also really want you to try to focus on squeezing your shoulder blades together. We're going to get the rhomboids active in this as well. As you're down into a squat, you'll feel this in your quads, and so as you're stabilizing yourself down there, also should feel it maybe a little bit in your lower back, as that's working to stabilize you through the motion. If you need a little bit higher intensity, kick up the speed, add a few more pulses. That's what it looks like. Very good job. So 40 seconds worth of work there. You're doing great. Oh, I can tell you guys you're doing awesome with this one. Okay, 20 seconds of our active recovery period. Stay strong. We're getting there. Okay, and so for our next one, we're going to get down into that modified plank with the tricep extension again. Again, we're down in that modified plank position on your knees and on your hand. The opposite hand, the elbow comes back behind you. You squeeze through the triceps, through that muscle on the back of your arm to extend that elbow back behind you. And again, the emphasis is really trying to squeeze that muscle, trying to really maximize that contraction. The higher intensity, we're going to kick it out onto our toes and onto our hands. You can also add a few more extensions here. Again, there's 3, 4, 5. And so the more tricep extensions you do up in that tall plank position, the more time you're hanging out on that other arm. It's actually a great way for that down arm or that supporting arm to get a good workout as well, to get a really good muscle contraction as it's working to stabilize your body through that motion. 20 seconds here of our active rest period, or active recovery period, and then the next one that we'll get into, number 5 on the list, is going to be the marching arm circles. Arms out to the side, small circles should fill this in the shoulders and in the deltoids while you're performing those marches. And so again, we could perform just the arm circles, but we're going to kick that on a little bit more. I want you guys to just be a little bit more active with it as you perform the marches as well. If you need the higher intensity, kick it up to some high knees. And so now we're doing some high knees with our arm circles. You guys, I want you to pick whichever version of these exercises you feel is most appropriate for you. If you're doing the low intensity version, you feel like you could kick it up a little bit higher, try that higher intensity version. You don't have to follow along exactly with what I'm showing you here. You could do just the lower intensity version for the full 40 seconds. You could do just the higher intensity version for the full 40 seconds. I just want you to push yourself. Okay, we've got 3 seconds left in our active rest period, and then we're going to finish this set out with the curl, press, and squat. So again, standing upright, we're going to do a curl up to our shoulders. We're going to do a press overhead with the arms, and then while holding the arms overhead, drop down into the squat. So we've got biceps, we've got shoulders, but then we're going to kick on some of the core muscles with the overhead squat. We're definitely going to kick on a lot of the quads, a lot of the glutes, a lot of the hamstrings with that as well. Your higher intensity version of this, again, is going to be to pick up speed with it. Try to go with these as fast as you can. Really try to focus on those muscles. Really focus on the bicep squeeze. Focus on lifting your arms over your head and keeping your arms over your head. Focus on the squat. Focus on each one of those 3 stages of that exercise. I promise that it's a good one. I promise it's going to be a burner for you. All right, only 10 seconds left in our active rest period here. Again, we're doing a 40-second high interval, a 20-second low interval, but that low interval is that 20-second active rest. Okay, congratulations, you guys. You rocked it through set 2. We've only got one more. So take a 60-second break, grab some water if you need to. I'll see you back here in just a minute. All right, here we go with the last round, round 3 of our 6 exercises. We've got 6 more minutes of work to do. You got this. Finish up strong. Let's get things started with those plyometric push-ups. Again, feet come away from the wall. The further your feet are away, the harder the exercise becomes. You're really extending through the elbows. Push yourself up off of the wall. That is the plyometric version of this exercise. If you've been doing this one all along, try to push yourself a little bit on this last set. Try to maybe kick up the speed a little bit as I've just done. Maybe find a different surface that you can put yourself on that's a little bit lower. Just try to push yourself on this one. This is your last set of these exercises. This is your last chance. Really try to make it happen. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Okay, there's your first exercise in this, our last set. Just nailed the plyometric wall push-ups. We'll jump into the 20-second active rest period here, the low interval. Keep your heart rate up, keep things moving, keep the blood flowing a little bit. We've got 3 seconds left, and then we'll get into our walk downs is going to be the next exercise. Bend at your knees, bend at your hips until your hands come in contact with the floor. Walk out into that tall plank position and then return to upright. Working the arms with this one, working the shoulders. You're going to feel that in your core. Again, this is a great exercise. This is a great workout actually for beginners, for kind of the beginner to intermediate level. If you need a little bit higher intensity, kick it up a notch by increasing your speed. You can also throw that push-up in at the end of the exercise, at the end of the walkout motion there. Great way to kick on the chest and the arms, build a little more strength, build a little more muscle definition. All right, 40 seconds there, and then back up into that 20-second rest period. Maybe you're marching right now, maybe you're just walking around the room. As long as you're moving, as long as you're keeping that heart rate up, as long as the muscles are still working and the blood is still flowing, I'm happy. Okay, so for number 3, the reverse fly pulses. So we're going to pull back into that reverse fly and pulse 1, 2, 3, and then back down to that starting position. Again, this is the more easier version. This is kind of the more beginner version of this exercise. You should be able to do this one. If you need a little more intensity, go faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add a couple of more pulses with that. You can also hold some small hand weights on this. That's another good option. Again, the goal here is that you feel it in your triceps, so the muscles in the back of your arms, in the deltoids, that's the muscle in the back of your shoulder, well, the posterior head of the deltoids, and then the rhomboids, those muscles between your shoulder blades that are pulling your arms back behind you. 40 seconds there, followed by that 20-second active rest period, and then let's get into the modified plank with the triceps extension. So again, you're going to get down onto your knees and onto your hand. The opposite arm, the one that's not supporting you, kicks back behind you. I want your elbow back behind your back, and then you're going to extend at your elbow, bringing your fist up towards the ceiling, really trying to squeeze that muscle in the back of your shoulder throughout this motion. To kick it up a notch, we're going to go into the full plank position. What you should notice with this one is that down arm, the one that's actually supporting you, is working just as hard as the arm that's going through the tricep extension motion. That one's the one, again, that's supporting you. That triceps is active all the way from your elbow to your shoulder. It's holding you up as you're working hard to perform that exercise, that plank with the triceps extension. Okay, very good. I've got great news that we're almost through this. We've only got 2 more exercises. We only got 2 more exercises with this. 20-second active rest period, and then let's get into our marching arm circles. Arms are straight out to the sides, going through those small circular motions while the knees are coming up towards the chest. Try to get the knees all the way up as high as you can. Try to keep the arms out as straight as possible. If you need a higher intensity exercise here, you can even hold some small weights. Anything you can grab for kind of some small resistance is going to be even higher intensity. Kick it up one more notch with some high knees. This is a great way to get the heart rate going. Kind of a great cardiovascular aerobic exercise that you can actually do with that. Works the cardio as well as the muscles out in the shoulder as you're holding your arms out to your side, doing the arm circles with this. 3, 2, 1. Okay, just like that. There's our 40 seconds of work. We're going to follow that up with the 20-second low interval, the 20-second active recovery period, and we've only got 1 exercise left. We just have the curl, press, and squat left, and then we're done with this 20-minute home workout. All right, here we go. Curl your arms, press them overhead, drop down into that overhead squat. This is a great exercise as we're kicking on a lot of the upper body muscles with this, but then we're also going to add that squat motion, kick on some of the lower body exercises with this as well. We're really trying to maximize our time with this. We're really trying to work just as many muscle groups as we can in as short of time as possible. That's why we're going to do some upper body and some lower body with this. Okay, to kick it up a notch, we're going to increase speed. And so we're going to curl, press, squat, and then back up. You're going to feel it in your legs, feel it in your arms, your shoulders, your back. Only 2 more seconds, and you did it. Okay, there's the 40-second work period, and I've got great news. All that we've got left is our 20-second active recovery period. So there it is, 10 seconds left. I hope you guys enjoyed this workout. I enjoy putting them together for you. I hope that you do find them beneficial in helping you to progress towards your fitness goals. If you did like it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button down there. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and let me know about it in a comment below. This is also a great chance to subscribe to Tone and Tighten if you haven't done so already. That way you're sure to never miss a workout. And I'll see you next time right here on Tone and Tighten.